Okay, so I'm in the mechanical room, and you have a hot water boiler that's powered by oil fuel, right? It's going to make hot water that runs to a coil over here, and then you have your air handler, and then you have the refrigerant line from the AC condenser from the outside. So you have a true central system. Looks like this is from 2010, same as the condenser on the outside. Right, same thing, you have the Lennox over here from 2010. These both have condensate lines, those little white pipes. Those go down to the drain, so condensation will drip down into the floor drain. Right, you have a water heater that looks like it was installed in 2013. Right, it's an indirect tank, which is going to get hot water from the boiler. The boiler is powered by oil, right? And it says there's no filter at the tank, so you're going to have to replace the filter over here, right? Generally speaking, the piping looks like it's in pretty good shape. There are a couple of areas where I see a little bit of dielectric reaction and corrosion. You know, some of the piping has been replaced. You know, there's another area where there's a little bit of corrosion, a little bit of dielectric reaction, right? A little bit of corrosion there. So, a little bit of dielectric reaction. This discharge tube should actually extend down to the floor. So that's something that should be corrected. And you can see that they did have a professional come in for the mice. This is your waste pipe that goes out. You have your oil tank right over here. It's a 275 gallon tank. There was a secondary 275 gallon tank. It's been disconnected. It really should be removed. I'm guessing it was disconnected probably because it was leaking. That's why you got a little bit of kitty litter down over here. So you're probably going to want to have that removed. You know, the joists all are solid. You've got steel posts coming down, poured concrete foundation. Like I said earlier, it's a pounds per square inch. It's the strongest foundation you get. In all the little nooks and crannies, I don't see any evidence of any cracking. I noticed over here, this door, closet door in the hallway, it's not closing. It's got to be trimmed and adjusted. Okay. Toilet connections seem fine. Alright, no corrosion. Toilet's nice and secure. I noticed that this sink is draining a little bit slow, right? And you've got some corrosion on the sink over here. Alright. This shower head over here is leaking slightly. It probably just needs to be tightened or maybe add a little Teflon tape over there. But it's draining down properly. Right? So in the basement here you have electric baseboard heaters. This is where we set up the radon test. We'll come back and pick that up in a couple of days. We tested all the electric baseboard heaters. They're all working fine. Alright, you can see it's pouring rain outside. So this light I noticed isn't working over here. Electric baseboard heater is working fine. This casement window over here, it's got a broken seal. See, it looks foggy and it's missing the screen there. Just turn off all the thermostats. And then we're going to go over to the water room and the meter room. So right, you can see Colgan came in and put what looks like a reverse osmosis, a carbon filter, a particulate filter. And then you have the softener over here, right, with the sodium pellet. You have a whole house filter, right, and you can see some of the connections here. They're definitely a little bit corroded, and definitely quite a bit of corrosion on the main water line coming in. Alright, you can see all that green. So no way to tell if it's just exterior corrosion or interior corrosion. I do have a pressure gauge, which we're going to check to see what the pressure is on the house. I'll hopefully show you that on a different video. And then you have the meter over here, you have a pressure regulator, and then you have your shutoff right over here. Okay, this is the electric service. You have two 200 amp service lines coming in to serve the house. This, you can see the covers on the floor that needs to be put back on there. You don't want to have access to the service lines over there. All right, there's a backup generator, a portable generator hookup. So what they did was they wired it so that the power is going to come into this panel, right? This is a disconnect which actually runs, if you see that black line, it runs all the way up across and over to this little switch. This is a transfer switch, okay? So right now, the way it works, if there's power from there, it's going to run to here and power this panel over here, right? There's another disconnect for safety over there. And if you lose power, you can turn it from normal to generator, which will transfer the power from this black line, which is being fed over from this original panel, to the generator line, which is somewhere, I'm guessing probably on the exterior. I didn't see it, but you can ask the homeowner where it is. And so it'll power everything that's wired on here. So you can see it says vacuum, bedroom, house fan, the kitchens. It's hard to read anything else, but yeah, probably, you know, refrigerators, things of that nature. Everything looks well wired over here. The only exception that I have, the only problem I have is you've got an opening in the panel over here, an opening in the panel over here, an opening in the panel over here. Other than that, everything else looks good. Right, this is a sub panel which is going to be powered from here. 200 amps each, 100 for the sub panel over here. This is a 50 amp over to this backup generator hookup, but this has a 100 amp disconnect on it. So generally speaking, you know, it looks good. They have a little damp rid I don't know if there was, yeah, there's some water that's leaking in over here. So you're probably going to want to seal this up. It's raining really hard outside right now. So you're definitely going to want to seal this up. You got a little bit of water damage over here to the wall. But other than that, looks good. You know, hopefully, like I said, the last test will be the pressure test, and hopefully we're all good.